Hey Frugivore, I'm Freelee. Welcome back to the Frugivore Diet channel. So today's video, I'm pretty tired. Okay, I hardly had any sleep at all, but you know, because of the whole solar situation and like the monsoonal rains, but we are getting through it the best that we can. So anyway, we're going to react to What I Eat in a Day by Abbey Sharp, by Abby's Kitchen, the dietitian. I think this is her only other What I Eat in a Day. If you found another What I Eat in a Day from her, let us know in the comments below because I couldn't find it. So this is her second one, and it's definitely more plant-based, which is great. We're going to talk more about that. But I want to focus a bit more on glyphosates in this video, and you know, the fact that we're eating a lot of these herbicides, well, not me in particular, but a lot of individuals are eating them, a lot of you are eating them, and you need to be aware that it's what's going in your body, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that soon. So anyway, if you want to see more of these videos, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, just do something if you want to see more of them, and let's get into it. Let's see how Abbey Sharp is eating. Okay, Frugivore, here we are back on Abbey Sharp's YouTube channel for another What I Eat in a Day. So this is What I Eat in a Day while pregnant with morning sickness all day as a busy dietitian and mumpreneur. Hashtag affiliate, of course, because we know Abbey Sharp really can't seem to do a video without it being sponsored. And that kind of says a lot about where her focus is, right? So over 200,000 views, and this was uploaded last year, but it seems to be the most recent What I Eat in a Day that I could find. Let me know in the comments if you found another one because I couldn't. Let's get into it.
Hello, lovelies. Today we are going to be doing a What I Eat in a Day.
It's kind of like nails on a chalkboard when I hear that. Hello, lovelies. I hear it from a few YouTubers and I'm like, oh, I just don't find it genuine at all. Feels very fake, you know, especially coming from Abby. But I know I'm not commenting on the food, but I do have opinions on other things as well. It just doesn't feel genuine, you know, authentic.
And I'm really excited about it. Today's video is sponsored by General Mills and Cheerios. And I'm
all right. So she is sponsored by General Mills, which is like one of the biggest global food, you know, production companies, multinational companies in the world. Huge. So like the amount of money she must be getting paid for this video must also be quite huge. I would say $20,000 or more. I'm serious. Okay, it would be a lot of money. It's a very questionable company to be taking money from, but I don't think Abby
I'm going to be taking you through a very random eating day. P.S. I am pregnant and very nauseous, so excuse me if I only eat carbs today.
Oh, well, that's great. I would be totally supportive if you're eating a lot of high carb foods. I mean, I think that's what she means, high carb foods, because if you're just eating carbs, that would be then just sugar, basically. But yeah, well, that's great. Okay. Get the carbs in. We will see if Abby actually does that. So let's get to the food. Okay. Well, damn, those so incredibly processed, right? But can't have too much fruit.
It's really early here. It's 4:50 in the morning, which is even early by my standards.
Okay, so let me just first say it's great that she's showing her makeup-free face. We can actually connect with the human here, so kudos for that, Abby. It is early in the morning.
I didn't sleep well last night. So I've got a big bottle of sparkling water to get me started for the day. Also just easy on the belly things, a banana and a clementine, which are...
I mean, that was great that she actually had... It is easy on the belly. It is easy on the belly. A beautiful ripe banana. You saw the spots. Good, Abby.
My favorite things in the world right now. So...
Favorite things in the world right now. Okay, we're off to a good start. It's just that there's like a very small amount, right? There's just one clementine, one banana, where she'd be better off having like at least 5 bananas and like, you know, a kilo of clementines.
All right, let's get going. Just getting everything ready here.
Wow. Cheerios. I can't believe that she's actually promoting Cheerios, okay? Because they have actually had a class action lawsuit against them for the amount of glyphosates that they have in the cereal. You have to think about this, okay? You have to consider these glyphosates. Fruit-based is always going to be the safest way to eat in this world, especially if you're growing it yourself, obviously. But the glyphosates in grains in particular, in like soybeans and like animal bits and pieces, obviously, eggs, dairy, because the animals eat these crops that are heavily sprayed with this glyphosate. So if you're not sure what glyphosate is, it is a synthetic herbicide and it's been around since 1974 and it's made by Monsanto, of course. And it's just sprayed everywhere, okay? It's just been sprayed on these crops so intensely, a lot of grain crops, unfortunately, and it can build in your system. Okay, it really, really can build in your system, and it's grains in particular because they're finished with this spray. They fly over with their planes, and it gets into the seed, and then we ingest it, and the cows ingest it. People eat the cows, but we eat directly. Not me myself, but when you're eating a lot of the oats and grains and cereals and stuff like that, you can be getting a big whack of glyphosates. And Cheerios has been shown to have amounts in it which are very controversial, okay, and can cause issues over time potentially. Okay, it's not going to kill you on the spot, the glyphosate, but it can build in your system over time, damage your gut. This is what the science is saying. Okay, it can lead to chronic diseases and gut dysfunction. So it's going to make it ultimately more difficult for you to absorb vitamins and minerals from your food because your gut gets damaged over time from the use of this synthetic herbicide. So I just want you to be aware of that, okay? Obviously, I'm supportive of high-carb plant foods and I want people to eat them, but you need to know the truth of what's in them as well. So, okay, I'm talking about, but
So this is, okay, so I am pretty much all ready to go. I'm just going to take a little breakfast break and sit down for a second while my stylist finishes up the table. I've made myself some tea. It's just a nice herbal tea. I don't ever have caffeine before a TV segment, but definitely not while pregnant.
Oh, good. I'm glad she doesn't have caffeine while pregnant. Great. Shouldn't have it at all because it is just an iron inhibitor psychoactive stimulant. And tea also inhibits iron. So you gotta be careful.
I've also got some hard-boiled eggs. I'm going to try to have a little bit of protein. I made my...
It's not just automatically protein. I mean, the egg companies can't even say that it is a good source of protein on their packaging. The USDA won't let them because it's actually not. It's not a good source of protein. So can we talk
like a breakfast sandwich kind of thing with
So we got some fruit there, basically fruit stuffed in there for the frugivore. The frugivore wants some fruit. So, she's going to jam instead of fresh fruit, and she's got peanut butter and
whole grain sourdough, some natural peanut butter, and some cherry chia jam that I made. And I put a little bit of hemp hearts on top as well for some extra nutrition. So...
Okay, that's plant-based, it seems to be, which is great. It's very, it's got the dry bread, and there's also going to be that glyphosate content in the bread. I just want you to know that in the grains, you just need to remember that. And I'm not saying, you should eat animals instead, because it's even worse than eating animals. So
that I'm really looking forward to. So good. Okay, so I really could only stomach one of my 2 eggs.
Okay.
But now I'm seeing this tiny little piece of one of my favorite Tim Hortons donuts. It's a chocolate glazed donut.
You can see what she actually wanted here. She didn't want hard-boiled eggs. She didn't want hard-boiled reptile food. She wanted frugivore food. She wanted sweetness. And so she just gave up on the eggs, and she's over here on the sweetness. See what's going on?
So I'm definitely going to crush that right now.
This is just a frugivore. This is just a frugivore needing fructose, glucose, sucrose. Sucrose breaks down to a molecule of glucose and fructose. So, in this, the sugar, the sucrose that is mainly in these, processed donuts and junk food and stuff like that is going to break down to some fructose. So she's going to get the frugivore is going to get that sweetness, but obviously go for the whole food. Have a substantial breakfast. I can't believe I have to tell a dietitian this, right? Have a substantial breakfast, like a smoothie bowl, that kind of thing. And then you're not going to have to eat junk food for breakfast. Oh, gosh.
Well, barely survived that one. Whoa. Well, I finally am here at the gym, and honestly, every single time I come home from Hamilton, it's like Waze takes me on a tour of...
Okay, so it doesn't seem like she ate a lot to start her day, right? She just had a couple of bites of donut. She had a hard-boiled egg. She had that peanut butter jam toast. That's basically it. That's not a lot of goodness to really start your day with. And no juicy there. No sweet and juicy, not much hydration.
Of the GTA. And I see regions, if the drive, they have a clementine as well that I might have, if the drive without throwing up. So that's a win. But I think I'm going to try to eat the other egg that I left from earlier. And I think I have a clementine as well that I might have a little snack on. I'm also thinking about getting a Starbucks because I have a few minutes. So I'll see how I'm feeling after the egg. The thing about...
yuck. I just like hard-boiled eggs. I'm like, why? You know, there's nothing like great about this.
Day sickness, I'll call it, because it's literally all day and all night and all morning and everything, is that it's really kind of gotten me back in touch. Not that I've ever been out of touch recently, but really forced me to definitely be mindful in my eating, really kind of shake up the routine because...
Yeah, so also, I mean, let me know in the comments below. I'm not a mother, okay? I don't know about the morning sickness so much, but I would love to know your experience as a fruit-based, you know, or high-carb, plant-based eater. What is your experience with morning sickness? Let us know in the comments below because, of course, you know, every sort of illness or situation we experience where their health is definitely impacted by what we eat.
So I've had to eat a lot slower, check in with myself multiple times because I will feel really sick when I don't eat and then I eat. And if I literally have one bite too much, I feel even more.
Well, reptile food is not going to work for you, Abby. Reptile food. So let's move on.
Gym, I feel great. I feel so much more energized now.
Okay, good. She had a workout. That's great. That means her calorie requirements go up even more. Family-sized Cheerios.
And even though I'm not doing like a super crazy hard workout, I do still try to get a combination of protein and carbohydrates after a workout. That's just...
And do you know that like fruits, you know, when you're on a fruit-based lifestyle, that's actually a combination of protein, good fats, carbohydrates. So you get that in the whole food. Okay, so you don't have to formulate it with a whole lot of different foods. You actually get that in the whole food package.
I ate in recovery. So, and of course, some original Cheerios.
Of course, Cheerios. So, yeah. She's doing the product placement here. We know she's being paid by General Mills. But I want you to know, look, the World Health Organization in 2015 actually classified glyphosates as probably carcinogenic to humans. And this is after reviewing years of published and peer-reviewed scientific studies. Okay, so this is something you really need to consider for your health, and especially if you have a child, because children have like been shown to have generally higher levels of glyphosate than adults. So, and this is marketed basically, a lot of these, you know, Cheerios and stuff are marketed towards children, and they're obviously eating them. You know, it looks all cute on the package and stuff like that, but what is it really doing to people's health? I mean, what is it really doing over time to your gut?
Because I'm a big fan of a good crunch factor, but I also love that it's low in sugar and a whole grain cereal. So I do try consistently to choose whole grain cereals rather than refined grains because of the extra fiber and nutrients.
I mean, yeah, it is better to have whole grains, but at the same time, you might be getting even more glyphosate because it's on the husk of the grain. You know, there's also that to consider. So it's really, is it safe to be eating this? You know, we don't want to be like a science experiment like guinea pig for Monsanto, who just introduced this herbicide in 1974 and has been spraying the fuck out of everything, you know, everybody's food. You know, it shows, like, science even shows that ultra low levels of glyphosates may be harmful to human health. And it's now on that Prop 65 list as known to cause cancer or birth defects or other reproductive harm. So repeated, like if you're eating this repeatedly over years and years and years, you just have to be aware of, you know, the residue building in your body and then it contributing to potentially serious health problems, right? So I wouldn't be taking money from this company or like promoting it, that's for sure. And look, glyphosates are in a lot of like foods that people are eating, a lot, you know, a lot of grains, soy in particular, you know, like potato chips, corn chips, multigrain chips, you know, potatoes, corn, like a lot of, you know, rice even. So you just have to, like, I know I might be the bringer of bad news by saying this, but I want you to know the truth of what you are eating. Okay, so it's safer to have fruit-based. It's always going to be better.
List. So you can see with Cheerios, it is the first ingredient. So not whole wheat, not multigrain, not enriched.
Okay, I don't want to listen to her advertisement, okay? So I just want to see what she's going to have. Of course, it's got to involve Cheerios. Okay, so this is going to be like her main meal, I guess, like really processed, right? Like they look, wow, are they oat-based or something? But they're a long way from oats. She can't critique me on anything I eat when she's eating like this. Seriously, the diet is just, it's a shocker.
Gorgeous snack bowl.
It's not gorgeous.
Okay. We'll get some of that chia jam, some of the peanut.
I feel like this is what I ate, like, not even when I was younger. Like, my mum wasn't even really, you know, she was definitely trying to give us the whole foods as much as possible. This looks like something that she would not buy for me, but like Abby's eating it as an adult. It's just, I don't know.
Butter, yogurt.
She's getting
all
paid,
those
though,
Cheerios.
No. Just have the oats, you know, like, yeah, it's got the glyphosate content you have to be considering, but like have it less processed. You know, you're a dietitian, right?
Baby E would love this.
Oh no, Baby E would get a big whack of glyphosates from that. You know, there was a class action lawsuit against General Mills for these, like, for Cheerios. You know, for the amount of glyphosates contained within the Cheerios. And they try and, like, you know, just say, hey, it's okay, it's not too much. But it's like, look, if it's going to be over the course of time, and if it's been, you know, classified as carcinogenic to humans by World Health Organization, you have to think about that, and especially not be giving it to our children.
I think he's at a play group right now, so I might have to save him just like a little taste for.
Oh no, don't. Just please give him some fruit. Give him some fruit.
I'm feeling like soup. This morning sickness thing is a big fat lie because it's an all day sickness. And as a result, I don't really feel like eating anything super heavy. And
it just, like, for me, it just doesn't intuitively make sense to have this morning sickness thing all day, just to be feeling ill, to be wanting to vomit when you're going to bring a life into the world. Like, it just seems very strange to me. Let me know your experience in the comments. If you've been eating cleaner, like fruit-based, high carb, I'd love to hear it.
Soups just feel good to me right now. So basically every single weekend I make a big batch of soup, and this week I've got some split pea soup, the Mindful Glow cookbook. If you don't have the Mindful Glow cookbook, friends,
okay, please don't get that. Please do not get the Mindful Glow cookbook. You can have a look, and I think it's Goodreads at the reviews. People are saying, like, the measurements and stuff are out, and it's just not good. And obviously it contains animal bits and pieces.
You need to get it. It is, I'm going to leave the description version than that. Sleeping baby. Even if it means,
I mean, I'm not supportive of people promoting basically pain, death and suffering to the world, which is what that book is included.
You know, a less beautiful, less Instagrammable lunch. So what we're going to do for the avocado toast is I've got some white beans that I just kind of drained and rinsed. I don't need the whole can's worth, just because I'm making this for me and maybe a little bit for Baby E.
There is a lot of pushing of beans in the plant-based movement, a lot of pushing. And I've just got to say to you, they're not part of a fruit-based frugivore diet. All right. So we are not meant to eat that many beans in one go. Okay. So it's going to play a bit of havoc on your digestive system. You probably notice how it feels down there when you have quite a few beans. It doesn't feel so great, does it? That's for a reason. I mean, where is the glucose, the fructose? Where's the fructose in it?
And we've got an avocado here.
Everything seems to take so long. Like, I just wanted to, like, actually just show the meal done. But I can fast forward to it.
It's up a lot in the fridge as it sets.
All right, so this is what she's having for lunch.
Tomato. And a sprinkling of hemp hearts.
I'm very happy here to see that this is plant-based, right?
And I'm going to top mine off with some crunchy chickpeas as a nice.
She's probably doing that because she knows she's got the plant-based viewers, the vegan. Maybe she was like getting some heat at that time, so thought she put out plant-based. Because, like, you see on Instagram and stuff, like in a story, she's just eating so much animal bits and pieces and promoting it and eating junk. So this could be just to appease the vegans.
I'm very excited to have this.
Okay, I don't have a big problem with this. It is, like, plant-based, obviously. But, like, from a frugivore perspective, hang on. From a frugivore perspective, it's not going to be a lot of, obviously, fruit nutrition. There's not fruit here, is there? There is a high-fat fruit, the avocado. Okay, great. I love avocados. But it's not like the most optimal fuel for you during the day. Okay, you need to, like, get in sweeter fruit. You know, you need that sweetness to get you going, you know? I would have double the amount that she's having there, but she's probably concerned. Maybe she's feeling sick and everything like that, or concerned about having too many calories. I don't know.
Poppy puppies in her.
Okay, so the lunch was not too bad. It was not too bad. I just recommend more fruit, more sweet fruit, because you just end up wanting something sweet later and it'll end up being something junky most likely.
We're going to do. But let's make these muffins. They are one of Baby E's favorite snacks.
Okay.
They're peanut butter and banana. Okay, so first of all, we got some bananas. I've got some microwaving in the fridge.
Okay,
but anytime I've got an already dead one here that's going to go in as my last half cup. Normally you do 3 eggs, but because I've only got 1 egg left, I've got...
No. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be putting a hensies in there. There's no need to put that in there. Think about the baby male
2
chicks.
flax eggs in the fridge. I'm going to add those as well. I also forgot that I don't have melted butter, so I'm going to have to find some coconut oil, so just bear with me.
I mean, like, why would you want to put melted butter, melted bovine secretion? Like, that's not meant to go into your body. It's meant to go into a baby cow. You know, it's like...
Styling it is. These are going to be mainly plant-based today.
Wow. That's a lot of oil. Oh, wow.
I think I'm going to use up all my oil.
Okay, that's a bunch of fat, a bunch of unnecessary fat going in there, 100% refined fat. I'm a fan of coconuts, but eat the whole coconut. Oil, 100% refined fat. It has no place in the human frugivore diet.
All right, close enough.
So this is never going to be better than eating a fruit meal, right? But Abbey Sharp seems to think it's healthier for some reason, but obviously it's not. You know, you're doing all this processing unnecessarily. She had the menstruation in there. Just go and have a fruit meal and, you know, look after your gut health. Don't, you know, bother with this, you know, junky muffin.
It's cold out here. So normally I'm a big salad eater. I always have at least 1 salad a day. I love salad. I love greens. I love the crunchiness. Yeah. I have had a hard time finishing a salad the past few weeks, but for some reason I got home and I was craving cucumbers. So I'm going to have some cucumber and some carrots with some tzatziki.
Good. There's some fresh in there. That is great. Just have more. You know, you're probably just desiring some vitamin C. Because, you know, when you cook a lot of your food, when you have a lot of cooked food, you are killing the vitamin C essentially. Okay, you have to remember that. And you need a lot of vitamin C. You can't manufacture it yourself in your own human frugivore body, so we need to get it from our food.
I love
and fruit, of course, is best.
And I figured I'm going to make some roasted broccoli. I just have had a hard time eating a lot of vegetables, but I'm kind of craving some kind of roasted broccoli with some balsamic flavor. I don't know. I like the tanginess. That's really what's appealing to me right now.
Yeah, and it's probably because she isn't getting enough vitamin C. Okay, it probably is because she isn't getting enough freshness in her day and she's cooking out the vitamin C. So if she's a frugivore, she needs to get more. Huge kind of recipe testing day this week. So I have this amazing vegan, I'm calling it a beefaroni, which I mean is very nostalgic for me. So look, she's having a lot of plants today. She must have got some heat. So she's having a plant-based mainly day. She did have some eggs there. We know that. But this is great to see her having a lot of plants, right? Yeah, I cooked some chickpea pasta for extra protein, which is always kind of my go-to pasta. You don't have to worry about chickpea pasta or extra protein. Some spices, but it's really super, super easy and simple. And I'm going to add a little sprinkling of Parmesan cheese. You could do oh, what a shame. That's a shame she had to go there with the Parmesan cheese because it's just rancid. Just rancid bovine, solidified bovine secretion. That's what it is. You're drinking from mama cow's teat, some rancid mama cow teat juice, essentially. So you don't want to be eating that. You don't want to be ingesting that as a human frugivore, right? My dinner and some broccoli. We'll see how I do. And Baby E's meal. All right, end of the day, finally. All right, I'm going to stop it there. Okay, I'm going to stop it there because this is going to be way too long. She had this beefaroni plant-based. I think that's fantastic. She's got pasta. I'm happy that she ate more plants and she advertised that basically to her audience. But like I said, on Instagram, she shows a lot of animal bits and pieces promoting it. And yeah, she just does it to appease her plant-based viewers. But I'm still happy to see. Okay, she did have some menstruation, she did have some solidified rancid bovine secretion, but it was good to see a lot of plants. But the main focus is really the glyphosates. Okay, you need to consider this. I know I'm the bringer of bad news, but basically Monsanto has just spread its filthy pesticide all over the world. All right. And we need to start considering what we're putting into our body and whether we're being like basically a guinea pig for their chemicals. And, you know, growing our own food is obviously optimal. Choosing fruits over grains is optimal to get your fuel source because you are a frugivore. So it makes sense in every way to do that. And just making it a priority, you know, make it work, make it happen. Whether it's a will, there's a way. Prioritize your health, you know, give up the makeup, shop secondhand, you know, do house sitting. There's a whole lot of ways you can save money and you can spend it on the food that you eat and the nourishment. That is what is really, truly important because you will get ill eventually if you don't prioritize your health and eat correctly for your species, you know, and we're high fruit animals. So we should be having a fruit-based diet. Okay, and it's going to be a lot less in glyphosates, that's for sure, compared to these grains and animals eating the grains as well. And it's concentrating in their bodies and then concentrating in our bodies. So something to think about. Okay, Frugivore, that's my Abbey Sharp video. Don't forget to go fruit yourself, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.